Hello again and welcome to the third module in our color management video series. This includes the subject of verifying the color wedge strip that we've printed on all of our proofs to certify that we've met the IDEAlliance international standards. And this will become very clear to you as we look into the X-Rite software I1Profiler, which is part of the I1Publish series. And you will note that there are now two different spectrophotometers. The newest version is the Spectro 2, the I1 Pro 2, and we're still using the I1 Pro 1. But there is an upgrade path for all clients to get to the number 2. This program, of course, is feature-rich with complete packaging around display calibration, projector calibration, and then a host of different features for setting up printers and building profiles, etc. It's both an RGB and a CMYK based printer. We can build profiles in either CMYK or RGB color space. But today we're going to talk completely about the quality module, which basically says we're using I1 Publish or Profiler to verify our color wedge. So obviously we start by picking the wedge color system that we want, and this is of course the IDEAlliance, as we have talked about many times. Then we can move on to our actual layout by clicking down here, and that brings up the picture that we're very familiar with of the IDEAlliance color wedge. We instructed as to which system we are using in spectrophotometer, and we're using the I1 Pro, soon to be the I1 Pro 2. Then as we move on, the device is checked for its calibration. Now we're going to assume that it is not calibrated, even though ours is, and we'll put the spectrophotometer back into its cradle and click calibrate. And an internal routine will take place between the cradle white dot and the spectrophotometer to assure us that it is calibrated and aligned. And we'll get the go-ahead for that. Then we'll bring our spectrophotometer over onto the reading table that's provided by X-Rite. We're going to be doing single scan passes, so we're going to be able to run a scan. We actually put the spectrophotometer here, click, go to the end and let go, and it'll read those chips. Setting up the printer, telling it that it was a CMYK printer, and then we want to select our paper. We want to bring this arrow down to give our paper information so that we can select the exact paper that we're talking about. Now they don't show the Epson semi-matte white, but that's the semi-matte surface. That's what we're looking for to tell the spectrophotometer what kind of reflectivity it's going to be dealing with as it reads. So with all of that said, we have the instruction here. It's written out, please measure row 1 on page 1. And so we simply line up our spectrophotometer strip reader, and hopefully we get a good, might have to read it a couple of times to make sure it's right. The actual spectrophotometer is counting the chips. And we have 2 successful readings of the chip. Now we go down and verify all of our information and go to the bottom. We've been measuring, and now we want to go to our reference, and we now have to tell the software exactly which profile was used so it can align with the Grackle profile. So we tell it that we use the Grackle, and everything else stays the same, and the method is the IDEAlliance. And we simply then go for a quality report by clicking down here in the quality, and the rest is history for us. We actually then see that we've passed with the Grackle reference the IDEAlliance standards. And it gives us a number of different numbers here. It'll tell us what our targets are, that we should be lambda delta E that we should have under 3 tolerance, 3 units, and we have 1.75, so we're comfortably under these tolerances, and basically anytime we're under 1.5 or near 1, we've done very, very well. Very, very expensive rips will get you to maybe 0.8, 0.85 if you're doing really well. So these are very high standards that are being achieved, and we have passed. And then finally, so that's our assurance that our print is correct, and now we can save a report, and we'll save that to our desktop to make it easy. And we'll do this as Grackle and save it to the desktop, and then move to the desktop. Find our report right here, which is an HTML-based report. And this, of course, can be printed out and attached. So this gives us the fact that we've passed the IDEAlliance, Grackle, and it gives us all of our critical numbers and even slices it down to very, very specific. Every one of these different colors has the information attached to this report. This report can then be printed and verify and attached to your print should it be a question of the validity and the certification of this print. So this is a very, very powerful program. We're extremely excited about the results that we're seeing consistently across the board with all of our clients using the Color Burst Overdrive. So that's our final conclusion. We have overdrive, overdrive layout for nesting, and of course the final and most important is the certification of the quality of that print. It's all for naught if we're not handing off color proofs that we all, on our end, your end, and at the printer, at the print station or at the head of the press, that they have complete assurances of the quality of the files that have been sent to them to hit the press. So thanks again. Don't forget you can call us at any time, and we're glad to help you with installation and training of these products, and hold your hand a little bit at the beginning because it may be very, very unfamiliar ground for you, but it will become very second nature in a short time. Thanks very much.